Hi, I'm Prarthana Prasad. Welcome to the first episode of Trojan Voices podcast with MHS Library's social media team. Today, Nazia and I are interviewing Hailey Plummer, a senior who's pursuing her passion of photography into a business during COVID-19.
I've been doing a lot of photography recently, and I have gotten paid for it, and so it's become kind of a small business for me. I'm a senior, and so obviously I'm not like up there with the people who are making lots of money professionally, but I'm hopefully getting there. I've been recently taking pictures for people for their senior portraits, and that has helped me like make money and get practice. And it's been overall really I've improved a lot.
Okay, so what type of products or services do you sell, and what is your main demographic?
So I obviously I sell the photos and I edit them, and mainly I think I just want to like help people and I guess get the experience of it and kind of like more of a business, so that in the future I can be more comfortable in that like situation.
Oh, so was photography like a hobby for you and you made it into a business to become more like extroverted? Like communicate with people? I see. Okay.
Yeah, so my dad's into a lot of photography too, and so he got me a camera a couple of years ago, and I've been using that camera to take photos for a yearbook, which I'm in yearbook this year and I was in last year, and I've been taking senior portraits, like I said. I've been taking photos of my friends, of like any of my art. I like taking photos of anything interesting, and I've already been like expanding too, and so I think that's kind of cool.
So when did you actually pick up photography, or when did you start selling it?
I didn't start getting paid until like earlier this year, but I think I didn't start taking like photos of people until like I think it was before COVID. It must have been last year around this time, so maybe a year ago.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question, kind of. So how do you like edit these photos? Do you use any extra software? And how long does this whole process take?
So I use Lightroom to edit like pretty much all of my photos because it's simple and easy to use, and it's it's not as powerful as using Photoshop, of course, but it like helps for just editing, like retouching photos. And usually for me, when I was like just beginning, it would take me so long to edit photos. I was so like concerned, like, oh no, this looks too bright, this looks too yellow. And then now I'm like, I have my own presets, so everything's all set up, and I just click that preset and it puts it on the photo, and then I'm like, oh, this just needs like a little adjusting here and there, and then I can send the client their photos. So it takes me around like an hour to edit. Like if I don't use a preset, it would take me an hour to edit like 30 photos because I'm so like decisive, I guess. But like it could only take me like 10 minutes to do like 25.
Do you think that it's difficult for you to like juggle your business with your schoolwork and other activities?
Oh my goodness, definitely. I was around the time that I was taking photos for senior portraits, I was also like behind in my English homework, and I was like, how am I supposed to manage my time? And so I have a friend that I asked. I think she's a senior too, and she's done a lot of photography, and she's like, what I do is I prioritize. She said that she makes sure that she has her homework done before she starts editing, because her clients know that she's a senior in high school and that she has to do school, and so she has to make sure that she gets her homework done, because that's what's very important at like the time that you're in high school. But at the same time, yeah, it's really stressful when you have to do both.
Do you have any goals for your business or like this hobby you created?
I'm more like focused right now on just like getting better at it and more comfortable with using my equipment. In the future, I'm hoping that I can like obviously make more money, and like maybe when someone like thinks of like a photographer in the area, then maybe someone will think of me, right? And like people refer me, and I can like expand my business. But I also want to, in the future, I can use this experience as a like just to be helpful for college and my career.
How do you generate sales or build a customer base during COVID or like reach out to customers?
For the senior portraits, I reached out to my yearbook teacher and she reached out to the entire school. But I have an Instagram account and I use that I can reach out to my fellow photographers that go to our school and help for like locations, and maybe like if someone's looking for a different kind of like style, I can like refer my friends to these other photographers. So it's a lot of social media, and I know a lot of people at school that I can talk to, and I know a few adults that like refer their friends, and so their kids. It's a lot of like spreading of the word.
Okay, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Did you start photography, your business before COVID? And do you feel that COVID has like impacted your business for the worse or like helped you a lot?
I did start photography before COVID, but I didn't get paid for it. Like, I didn't actually start it as a business until after. And the reason for that was because since the yearbook was having so much trouble getting like photos for people because of all the professional businesses that were taking photos for people, students and parents really just were very cautious and weren't sure if they wanted to take their kids to go get their photos taken there. So I offered Miss Walker, the yearbook teacher, I offered to help out. And so then she's like, yes, of course. And then she referred me to the entire school. So it definitely has, because I got so many more clients because of that.
How do you advertise your business?
I definitely need to work on this. This is something that I know that I just need to do. No one else can do. It has to be something that I need to make flyers for. I need to spread the word. I need to tell people about it and be like, hey, I'm out here. I'm ready to take photos of you. I need to tell them the price. But if I were to do more, I think now I would use social media.
Are you looking into photography as something that's going to look good on your application, or like is this like a full-time career that you're really interested in?
Since I really enjoy it, I think I would definitely want to use it as like to get into my like job or business or wherever I want to work. And I'm thinking a lot about like in college I want to do visual communication, and part of that there are classes for the school I want to go to. There are classes that require like photography, and I've been told that since during like kind of our generation, everyone's like all into photography all of a sudden because it's so easy to access using your phones. And so I'm told that it's going to be really hard to get into like those more, not the prerequisites, but like the more narrowed down defined like for the career kind of classes in college, because of how there's such a high demand for like everyone wants to learn about that. And so I feel kind of pressured to be the best in some ways. So that's why I definitely want to use what I'm doing now in the future.
So other than COVID-19 itself, what difficulties or issues that did you find when you were setting up your business, and how did you get through them?
I've found that it was hard like to contact the people. Either I'm not motivated, or like, the hardest thing is going to a photo shoot on like a day you just aren't feeling it. You're just like, if you're feeling like your attitude is just, you just don't feel like being kind to anyone. Not that. I think I can be kind. It's just, I'm just not in a good mood, not having a good day, right? But then I've already planned this photo shoot like a week in advance, and so I'm like, oh man, I have to go. And so I go to the photo shoot, but then I force myself to be happy, even though it's hard. And even though I'm already wearing a mask, I kind of have to fake it till I make it. I don't necessarily like the whole fake it till you make it thing, but it works with when I go to photo shoots, because I just, you just smile, you talk to them, and then you're friends. Like, then you feel better. I found that is one of the hardest things for me.
Yeah, I can agree. Like when I started doing art for commissions, I had this like motivation that I had to complete it, even though I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. What was your main motivation for like this? Like, and unless like count fake it till you make it, but did you have something like in the long end that you had a dream and you wanted to complete it?
Yeah, I think I've just looked around at like the people who are my age who are so far like advanced, so advanced at photography that I'm like, what? I could be just like them if I just worked a little harder. And so they all motivate me, they inspire me. And I also look at, I watch videos of people who edit their photos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I could edit my photos just like that. And so when I'm editing photos, I find myself getting like super excited and stuff. And that's why I get so motivated to just go out and take photos and then come back and edit them and then put them in my portfolio. I don't know, it all just really excites me.
What makes your business stand out from the rest, or any unique features of your business?
I think that since I'm young and inexperienced, I think it shows that like I really want to do this, and I'm not doing this just to make money, because I can't make a living off of this yet, because I'm not charging that much money. I'd have to charge like hundreds of dollars. And so it kind of shows that I have a passion for it, and that I enjoy doing it, that I want to help people, and that I'm trying as hard as I can to like become better. And I think that's what would stand out amongst like other people who are just doing it for like a living.
Where do you see your business in the long run, like in the future?
I think that if I pursue this, and I'll probably learn along the way how to do it even better. Hopefully, I may not be like the best now, but as in the future, yes, I will definitely be smarter, and I will know how to like keep my business running. So I expect myself to be able to know where to find clients and to have a much broader portfolio where it's not just portraits. It's more I have like abstract portraits too, or maybe some landscape stuff, anything like that.
So COVID-19, because of it, everyone's doing social distancing, and the photography, you have to go in person, and it's like a physical thing. So has that had any impact on your business?
I think since I didn't really do any photography before COVID, like with clients, I think it really hasn't changed as much. But I haven't been able to do any sports photography, which I did a lot of with the yearbook and before COVID, which is really sad because I really enjoy taking photos of people like running and jumping and swimming. But it also has changed because during photo shoots I have to wear a mask, and it's really annoying because when you breathe through the mask, then it like fogs up your viewfinder. It gets a little frustrating, especially when it's hot outside and you have to wear a mask. But I think my clients are fine with it because honestly, they're 6 feet away from me. They're just smiling. We're not like talking the entire time. I'm wearing a mask. It all seems to work out, but I'm sure there's some people who are more cautious about it and wouldn't set up a photo shoot because of this.
Okay, this is a little off topic, but in the age of digital media, people use like Instagram filters and Snapchat filters to enhance their photography skills. How do you feel about this?
I feel a lot that people shouldn't do this, because if you want it to be a photo of you, then it should be of how you look in person. And of course, everyone wants to like be up to those standards of beauty, or like they want to look better than they look in person, I guess, on social media. I was talking to my dad about this because of how much photography he's done and how he's talked to other photographers in his life. And I asked him, I was like, what do I do if the person has like a ton of like acne or something, and they're really bothered about it, but they're telling me to edit it all out? But I don't feel comfortable with that, because why would I want to remove everything on their face? Because that's how they look, right? And he kind of told me that, well, if it's acne or something that's going to go away in the future, then you can remove it, just maybe like not like blur it all out, just kind of do some fixing. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But then he said, but if it's like freckles or like a little mole on their face or something like that, like don't remove it. Like it's gonna be there the rest of their life. And so I guess go along with the more natural ways. But of course, I don't think that people should feel the need to make themselves look perfect all the time. it's easier to accept yourself than it is to keep editing everything out.
If you had one piece of advice to give someone who's just starting up, what would it be?
I think I would tell them that if you really want something, then you will commit to it. If you have the desire to get somewhere, then you better take that step. Don't procrastinate, just take that one step. In the future, you will be so glad you made it to this point because you committed to it.
Thank you, Hailey, for this interview. I mean, I learned a lot from a senior who's been pursuing photography even with COVID-19 and like with that positivity of, having people who don't feel comfortable in their face, and, like your insight is really helpful to me, I'm actually really interested in photography, but I've always felt a little insecure about my photography skills because it's a bit.
Yeah, I am too. Even I look at my work and I'm like, oh, I hate it. But all you have now is room to improve.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I'm sure you're really busy. And I feel like I really understood what goes on behind a person's business. Like, I feel like people think that it's really easy, but there's a lot behind the surface. So that was interesting.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. And good luck with your photography. And I wish you the best of luck with your business.